Darbs 5258. What's everyone smiling about?
No, Dom just makes me funny.
Okay, good. Eric Fischetti, who you can follow on Twitter at Sergeant Fish. Someone's making a joke, and I missed it. Nick Ohrnberger, who you can follow on Twitter at BListNick. And Eleanor Ciampi, who you can follow on Twitter at ELLE Hockey Maven. Number to call if you have something on your mind is 516-572-7440. So let's get to hockey. The Islanders signed Josh Bailey to a 6-year extension worth $30 million. This year, he has 62 points in 58 games. Dominic, what do you think of the deal?
All right, let's start with this. First of all, I like the deal. I think it's a deal you had to make in terms of just re-signing Josh Bailey, especially after the season he had. But, you have to look at the money, and it's just scary. You had all those bad years before, so will he be able to keep it going?
See, now, I actually, again, I like this deal too, but I see a different side of it. Bailey and Tavares had been playing well whenever they played with each other on the first line. So you can look at this deal as possibly, is this a great way to get John Tavares to re-sign?
Absolutely.
And definitely, when it comes to Bailey, again, like you were saying it, with John Tavares re-signing, you bring back, his friend, it's been with the team for a while, so you hope you can keep them together. And it's one thing, it's just I feel like, again, a move that had to happen, in terms of keeping the offense together, and you want to, somehow keep this team together. If they didn't make this deal, it's kind of scary what's going to happen, in the offseason. So it's something to look forward to.
We do have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on Beyond the Game.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Martin from Merrick. How are you?
Okay, how are you? I'm enjoying seeing the Yankees playing live.
Yeah, we don't get that privilege. What's the score?
3-1 Yankees, bottom 8.
All right, sounds good. I'll give that the applause sound effect. So what's on your mind?
Well, I figured I would chime in about the Bailey deal.
Okay.
I agree with you guys to the extent that it's step one if they're going to keep JT, but the problem is Bailey by himself, the Islanders more than overpaid for him.
That is 100% true. I'm sorry, Eleanor, just really fast. You're 100% right, Martin, that if the Islanders don't re-sign Tavares, this is a huge albatross of a contract. But Bailey and Tavares are friends. And to be honest with you, I think this is part of the Islanders' pitch to bring back John Tavares. I'm looking at this from a glass-half-full perspective.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be. And just to let you guys know, there was a trade involving Eleanor's favorite
We're going to get to that. I am aware of it. We are going to get to it. I promise. If you want to give your opinion on it, that's fine. But I did notice it.
No, I'll let you guys discuss it and break the news to your listeners.
Okay, sounds good. Was that all that was on your mind?
That's it, other than don't fall asleep as soon as you leave the station because you have to drive somewhere.
I do have to drive home. That is true, Martin. Thanks for the call.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was a good call from Martin from Merrick. So the trade that he alluded to was this. The Blue Jackets traded Derek Brassard to the Penguins for Ian Cole, Philip Gustafson, and their first-round pick this year. Everyone is just staring daggers at Eleanor right now. This year, Brassard has 38 points in 58 games, and Cole has 13 points in 47 games. Eleanor, who do you think won the trade?
I think the Blue Jackets won the trade.
Wow.
I love Derek Brassard. I was a huge Brassard fan when he was on the Rangers. I think that he's a good player, but I think what the Penguins gave up is a little bit too much. I love Ian Cole, but he had problems with Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan benched him and scratched him a lot because they didn't get along. But nobody blocks shots like Ian Cole. He is the definition of a defensive defenseman. He is awesome. I love him. I'm really sad to see him go.
You're also high on Gustafson.
Yes,
wow.
I am. Okay,
I'm shocked by this, I'll be honest.
Because my thing is, I know goaltending, okay? There's a difference between being a hockey fan and knowing goaltending, and I know goaltending. And Philip Gustafson is very good. I watched him in the World Juniors. My brother was like, who's this goalie for Sweden? I was like, that's a Penguins draft pick. Like, he's very, very, very good. He's big. He's very mobile. He's good, and I'm sad that we won't get to see him. But how many good Penguins goaltenders can there be? There's so many.
I said
Matt Murray part of them?
I said Blue Jackets, didn't I? It's the Senators.
It's okay.
I am an idiot. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I thought it was the Senators. But
I
was
picked up on it too, but like I didn't. I thought
God.
maybe I was out of the loop.
Yeah.
So
And I have to drive home. Just imagine that. Oh my God.
Oh,
You
it's
want me to
all right.
follow you?
Yes. You want to drive me home for me? Oh
I
my
won't,
God.
I won't drive you home, but I'll follow you.
I do apologize about that. That's embarrassing. One of my friends just texted me that. Oh my God, Jacob, get your head out of your you-know-what.
But-
Yeah, Eleanor, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've always said that the Penguins, their weakest part is their defense, and trading Ian Cole away, I don't think helps that at all.
It definitely doesn't. Ian Cole's a solid defenseman, but when you have the opportunity to get Derek Brassard, who I'm high on, I think you take it.
I know.
This is a scary addition for the Penguins.
It is. And the Penguins have very good forward depth. They really do. And I love seeing the rookies that the Penguins have. They have John Sebastian D and Dominic Simone, and they play so well. So I'm curious to see where Derek Brassard fits in.
He'll probably fit in on the second line, to be honest
I
with
was
you.
going to say third line.
Third line?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a scary third line if
I
that's
know.
true.
I know.
Holy moly.
I know.
So the Canadians traded Jacob Jerabek to the Capitals for their 5th-round pick next year. This year, he has 4 points in 25 games. Eleanor, who do you think won the trade?
So I'm going to say the Canadians right now just because they get a pick. A pick's always good, but I like him. He played in the Czech League for a while. He had 99 points in 308 games. He's a good defenseman. He's what he is. He's a defenseman. And he played in the KHL, and he played very well. He had 34 points in 59 games. So I think it's good for the Capitals. Capitals always need defensemen.
Yes, they do.
They're improving their depth defensively.
Canadians didn't like him. You want to
No.
talk about a defenseman in the doghouse? Jerabek was in the doghouse.
So I'd be curious to see what he does on the Capitals.
Yeah, I think he'll do well with
You
the
have
Capitals.
John Carlson. You have Dmitry Orlov. I
And
think
John
it's good.
Carlson's going to be a very hot commodity come free agency.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I'd love it if the Islanders could get him.
Talk about a team in cap trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Capitals. Yeah.
Aha.
I was just about to say.
I didn't even
puns.
The Coyotes traded Tobias Ryder and Scott Wedgwood to the Kings for Darcy Kemper. God, I hope I'm pronouncing those names right.
You are.
Okay, good. Kemper was then signed to a 2-year extension worth $3.7 million. This year for Arizona, Ryder had 19 points in 58 games, and Wedgwood went 5-9-4 with an .893 save percentage and a 3.45 goals against. And this year for Los Angeles, Kemper went 10-1-3 with a .932 save percentage and a 2.10 goals against. Eleanor, who do you think won the trade?
I'd say the Kings.
The Kings,
yes,
okay.
I like Ryder a lot. He's good speed on the wing, and he's a good third-line player. And the Kings have a lot. They have good forward depth. They have Jeff Carter, they have Tanner Pearson, they have Tyler Toffoli. They're in good shape right now, and I think Ryder only adds to that. And I think that the Coyotes, what they need is secondary scoring, which they obviously didn't get by getting a goaltender. So, but he's good. But
He is good.
Coyotes did not get what they needed.
Yeah.
See, now, I think this was an even trade. I do agree with you that the Coyotes really didn't need a backup goalie. Scott Wedgwood is not the greatest backup goalie, but when you've got Antti Raanta, obviously, it doesn't fill a hole for the Coyotes getting Kemper, but he's still a solid goalie. Tobias Ryder was not fitting in Arizona. I think this was an even trade, to be perfectly honest with you. The Bruins traded Frank Vetrano to the Panthers for their 3rd-round pick this year. This year, he has 2 points in 25 games. Eleanor, who do you think won the trade?
So right now I'm going to say the Bruins won because
I
again,
agree with
it's
you.
always good to get a pick. But Vetrano he was a good player in the AHL. I think that he has a lot of potential, and I don't think that he got that with the Bruins. So I think in an increased role with the Panthers, I'd like to see what happens.
I don't like the idea that the Panthers gave up a 3rd-round pick for this unproven guy. It's okay if you like him. That's fine. But to give up a 3rd-round pick for, you say it yourself, an unproven commodity?
Especially 2 points in 25 games. That's the first thing that I noticed right away when you mentioned this trade is that, it's a 3rd-round pick for a player that, wasn't really too hot this season so far. And, I understand, like you said, he was a hot commodity in the AHL, so, maybe you're going to try and, it's another role and maybe you can fix him, all right, fine. But I feel like at that point, maybe give up like a later pick, the trade's like, all right, whatever, it's just a trade, it happens. But a 3rd-round pick is kind kind of high, so I don't know. I'm not too crazy.
It is high, but I think its potential is worth it.
Okay.
I do.
You think the potential's there? All right.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
So we got about a minute left. It's time for the bottom of the 9. Dominic, we'll start with you.
I'm going to do it to 2 ex-Jet players. First one, David Harris. He is retiring. I'm glad you did not get that ring with the Patriots because that's obviously why you went there for it, and you didn't even play. Also, Chris Ivory, Jacksonville Jaguar running back, he got released. He signed a 5-year, $32 million deal 2 seasons ago, only made it for 2 seasons, and I wonder why, because he's not good. All right, and Leonard Fournette took over the job, so go get Kirk.
Leonard Fournette is amazing, let me tell you. Eric?
Yes, he is. First off, happy baseball season. This is the start where the Yankees have their first game almost in the books at this point. But Giancarlo Stanton is now 0 for 2 this spring. According to Erik Boland, it's time for panic mode. So you know what? We might be in a little bit of trouble considering if this is what the fans are hoping for. But really, just let's go Yankees this year. It's going to be a fun year.
Nick, you never sounded better with that hockey segment. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind is after the Chiefs have announced that Derek Johnson's going to be a free agent, multiple reports now point to a trade between the Rams and Chiefs for former All-Pro cornerback Marcus Peters. Over the last 3 years, he has the most pass breakups plus interceptions. So with that said, Marcus, Chiefs Nation will miss you. To the Chiefs, it better be worth it.
And Tremaine Johnson maybe not going to get locked up, so New York Jets.
Oh, my goodness
I don't know,
gracious.
Needs a cornerback.
Eleanor?
I just want to say that I was right about the Detroit Red Wings not wanting to trade Jimmy Howard because they traded Peter Mrazek. I was right. I know goaltending.
Wow.
Yeah, we deserve that.
Emotion. There it is.
So, at the Islander team event that I went to, I struck up a conversation with Matthew Barzell, and I said to him, I have a friend who hates the Islanders, and she doesn't think you're going to win the Calder.
Oh, my God.
I think she's nuts. We all know who this person is. Matthew Barzell's a future Calder winner. I know I made him uncomfortable with that. If I really made him uncomfortable, I do apologize. I'm so infatuated with Matthew Barzell. Oh, my God. The guy has all the makings to be the next, Mike Bossy or Brian Trier.
Just propose already. Come on.
Looks like we're bad out of time here on Beyond the Game. For Dominic Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, Nick Ohrnberger, and the True Hockey Maven, to hell with that other guy. Can't say that enough, Eleanor Ciampi. I'm Jacob Volk saying it takes a player to play a player. And player, you got played.